Hey Taurus, welcome to your reading. Today we're going to explore the messages that Spirit has for you in this moment, and we'll be uncovering insights and guidance from the cards to light up your path. This is a timeless reading and will reach you when it's meant to find you. So let's shuffle the cards and see what comes through. So Taurus, at the very centre of your reading, we've got the Exemplar of Pipes. And this is someone who holds a lot of wisdom, who has reached a certain point in their life where they have a real understanding about life in a way and about the world. And I'm seeing that this is you. And the Exemplar of Pipes as well, so this is traditionally can be about a creative path, but it's kind of larger than that. I'm feeling it can be a spiritual path for some of you as well, but it's that you've reached a certain level and understanding of spiritual growth. And this can kind of apply to whatever situation that you find yourself in at the minute. And I feel like Spirit is just telling me about the type of person that you are and kind of where you find yourself, and also to tell that message to you, Taurus, to assure you in some ways if you're experiencing any self-doubt, if you are questioning yourself. Spirit is telling me to tell you how established you are, and that to trust yourself, and that everything that you've been through in your life, I feel like you've been through a lot, has shaped you, has formed who you are, but also with that has come such insight and such wisdom. So if someone or a situation is pushing against that and maybe challenging your wisdom, your insight in a way, and trying to, I'm hearing like a gaslighting situation, trying to bring you down in some ways and make you question who you are really as a person, make you question your life experiences, your knowledge. And this is kind of a sharp reminder from Spirit to say, like, remember who you are. You have so much knowledge, personal power, wisdom, all that work that you've put in on your journey and on that path, that self-work. I'm seeing that you've put a lot of like self-exploration and doing the work in a way on trauma, doing the work on your past, healings, doing your work on how you deal with others, like relationships, taking your accountability. I'm hearing all of the above, so all of that good stuff, like you've put the work in, so don't let someone kind of make you doubt that really. Crossing it, we've got the Exemplar of Arrows. And I feel like that this is the person or the situation that is challenging you. And I'm seeing that it's like they have their idea of how they want things to go and how they want things to be. They maybe have dependents who they are invested in, who they see, they obviously kind of want the best for them. And it's like this could be a few people involved in this, or this could just represent what's their priority, and somehow I'm hearing just as well like what's their agenda. And they have a path that is mapped out. They have a way of doing things that is mapped out. And I feel like that their focus isn't on you, it's on whatever their priority is. And that could be just how they want it could be another person, that their priority is something else, or their priority could be just that this is how they see how things should go, and how they see how they want it to go. And somehow that is, they want you, I feel like, to fall into line of like how they imagine things should be, and they need to kind of look up, really, I'm seeing and feeling, and look at what you're bringing to the table and your knowledge, your wisdom, kind of what's your map, what's your idea, and include that in a way and merge the two, incorporate, take on your wisdom and kind of respect it and learn from it and take it on. Because underneath we've got this interesting card, this Six of Bowls, where there's always some kind of, there's a pain in this card, and there's a sadness and feeling of regret. So, and it's also a card of nostalgia, so looking back to the past of maybe when things were different, maybe when things were better. So this could be you who's feeling this, or them, or both of you. Maybe that you were on a certain path together and things used to be better, basically things used to be easier, and something has caused you maybe to grow apart, or something has brought a wedge between you that has changed the energy between you two, and priorities have changed. And I feel like something has caused distance between that. In the past things were easier, and the Six of Bowls is just that kind of sense of regret, some feelings of guilt maybe, emotionally being stuck in the past. So maybe that's something to be aware of if that plays into this dynamic, if it's not the best. Maybe like looking back to the past doesn't feel useful anymore. It's obviously understandable to have those feelings, but I feel like Spirit is encouraging you, Taurus, not to dwell and sort of lean into those feelings too much of that things used to be better, and trying to get back to that. It's almost if you want to move forward with this situation and change it and improve it, like other than walking away, say, but if you're invested in this and maybe you can't walk away from it, but if you're in this and you kind of want to improve it, then I feel like that looking to the past is not going to be helpful. It's actually about starting something new, starting something fresh, and a different perspective, a different way of doing things. Because at the top we've got the Temperance card, which is blend, which is like you two, or whoever's more involved than two people, you know, you and the situation, or you and the person. This card sits directly between the two of you, about having to bring some harmony and blend where you're at with this and where they're at, and somehow try to meet in the middle again. Because you're very established, they feel quite stubborn in their energy about how they've got that mapped out, and it's being able to bridge that, bring a sense of flow back into it. Temperance is about having patience. It's about, I always see it's a very spiritual card as well, that kind of the higher self energy, being able to channel that to bring peace to a situation. But some balance needs to be restored, so we can look into what will help bring that balance as well. But I feel like this card is telling me that that's the solution. It's like two lifestyles, two opinions, different emotional aspects, like somehow need to merge. In the past we see the hard work that you've put in with the Nine of Stones. This is you literally like digging in the dirt, of putting in the work for the future, really. I feel like that you put in a lot of effort into this situation, this relationship, this job, or whatever it is for you, Taurus. But you put in so much effort and work because you knew that the intention was for your future, or for this person's future as well, to build a better life in some ways. And you did that consciously, and you did that with much intent, and sacrificed a lot as well, Taurus, I'm seeing, through doing that. So through this hard work and effort, like you did sacrifice an awful lot for the future, and for this person maybe. So that could be an element that's involved as well. That could of course cause some resentment if things haven't worked out how you saw that happened, if they're not pulling their weight, if they've kind of pushed you out in some ways, then that kind of wasn't how it was meant to go, is what I'm seeing. But in the near future, we have this very positive totem of pipes, which is the flyers, which is about expansion. It's about, you know, you being able to have more freedom, Taurus. I'm seeing something will set you free. Something will allow you to have freedom, even if you stay in this situation, Taurus, is what I'm seeing. There could be a practical change, like something happens within this, like say if it was a work situation, it could be that you're moved departments or you get a new position, if that was possible. Or if it's in a relationship, there could be just something, a shift in the dynamic, and it feels like it, I'm hearing and feeling like it's a practical shift. So even if you got a new job that you kind of liked better, and then how that could influence the family home, for instance, or maybe you moved and it was a different living circumstance that kind of made things easier, or maybe this person's path, like map, somehow that they got a bit more of what they wanted, they became more settled, and maybe they got a job that they liked, and then this would have a butterfly effect and not a knock-on effect, Taurus, to kind of ease your situation. And I'm seeing that Spirit is saying anyway very clearly that you will be free of this, or you will find freedom within this. The advice, so at the moment I feel like that all that you can do, or the best way to focus your energies, is Eight of Stones, which is to just kind of studiously keep chipping away at it. Don't burn yourself out, so don't do anything manic or like go at it really hard. I don't feel there's no kind of big action that needs to be taken. It's just more this day-to-day of like chip, 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 and then almost circumstances around you will bring in this, usher in this freedom, as long as you're just sort of still in it, still invested, still doing the work. So whatever that looks like on the day-to-day, to kind of bring this harmony, bring this peace back into the situation. I feel like you are meeting this person halfway, and really that's all that you can do. But that's the kind of energy for you, the advice from Spirit to put in. Like I say, nothing drastic, nothing big steps to be, big movements, you know, big moves to be made. That doesn't feel like the energy that you need to bring. Like I say, it's just that chip, 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 water on stone, you know, that will change the shape of things and change the circumstances, and just stay present. Keep, Taurus is such hard workers as well, keep producing the good work that you do, keep your hand in, and like the universe, Spirit in a way will I feel like will bring the rest, really will usher in the bigger changes. Now, external influences is very interesting because we've got the Tower card, and I feel like that's what it could already be happening for this other person in your life or situation. If it's a workplace, if it's a person, I know I keep saying that, but it's just the other party, the other side of this situation that is challenging you. They're going through a Tower moment, or they will be. So I see them and their situation as it once has been is breaking down, and maybe that's what's caused this bigger conflict for them to kind of double down on, like becoming more controlling, becoming more like that this is pushing you out in some ways, being stuck to their goals, what they've got mapped out. And it's a bit like it hasn't worked out either for them, how they saw it going and how they planned. And something in their lives could be emotional kind of crumbling of things, or it could be that because things haven't worked out as they are, that this has really shaken their foundations. And I feel like that's what's going on for them, or will be going on for them. And it's a bit of a shakedown really, Taurus, for them on that side. because they've been so, I feel like they've been really difficult, like they've been very boundaried, but like as in walls up, like not boundaries in a good way, but like just walls up more. And maybe they have been very angry towards you, very sort of angry about the situation. They've expressed that. Maybe they find it easy to be angry and they find it difficult to be vulnerable, is what I'm seeing. At the very center we have this lotus and this beautiful tortoise, which is like this soft center in the very center of them, and it's almost like that's their vulnerable side, that's their sensitivity, that's their much more softer emotional energy, and it is still there. And I feel like this Tower energy is breaking that down really, and they're not able to hold it together in maybe in the way that they used to. If they're that kind of person who is closed off, that's starting to crumble because things haven't worked out how they saw it happening, and that's really shook them. It's like I say, it's starting to break them down. But actually what's happening is that the stuff that is falling away, always with the Tower card, even though it can be quite shocking, it can be quite heavy, ultimately when it does fall away, it's falling away stuff that you don't need. It's losing, you know, jobs, people, things, places that don't serve you anymore, or on an emotional level, letting go of old habits, bad habits, or just ways of being that are outdated and need to go. So that's something to be aware of for you, Taurus, to be helpful. To maybe you already see that happening with them, maybe you already understand that, but that is what's going on for them clearly. And your hopes and dreams, Taurus, is to reach a higher place in this situation, in some ways, like rise above it. Like you have this wisdom, and you want to be able to, you just kind of want peace in this situation, Taurus. You are very accepting in your energy. I feel like you've got lots of give. I feel like for this person that let's say you've sacrificed a lot for them, and your intentions are just very pure really, in that you are, you know, we see this higher being really who's got their hands open, who is just like, it's okay to be who you are. I get it. I accept it. This is the Hermit card actually, but in this deck it's called the Guide. So it's a bit like our higher self. But the Hermit is the light and the dark. They often need solitude, to have time out to reflect, but they have inherently a very sort of peaceful intent. So maybe you would like a bit more time to yourself as well. That could be part of it. Just for some of you, maybe you feel that overwhelmed, but you never get some time out. But I feel it's more like you just want everyone to get along. I know that sounds quite simple, but that is your pure intention, Taurus. And this kind of battle that you find yourself in is not kind of where you saw things going. And this is what you're holding in your mind and working towards. And you are taking the high road, Taurus. I'm seeing that you are doing that. And that is the best thing that anyone can do, really, is take the high road. And I don't see that you're letting yourself down in this situation, even by staying in it. But I suppose we did kick off with a first message from Spirit, just as a reminder to say that kind of remember who you are. So hold on to that and like remember who you are. Don't let this person doubt yourself. That feels essential in this journey. So if you to stay in it, don't let them erode your self-confidence or doubt who you are and the personal power that you have. And the final outcome, we've got the Nine of Arrows, and we see this person who is taking a shot in the dark. So I feel like there will come a time in this journey where there is this freedom that you'll find within it. But I feel like almost further beyond that, but there will be, it's almost like you'll have that desire to take some kind of action, inspired action. and shoot your shot, I always see with this card. And it's about doing that even when you don't have all the information, Taurus. So maybe you're waiting for the picture to crystallize in some ways, and you've got this piece, it's like a jigsaw. I'm seeing like you've got this piece, you've got this piece, and you're waiting for every piece to have every piece and to have it all fixed together and to be able to get the full picture and then go, right, then I'll make my decision. And I'm feeling like Spirit is saying that there will come a time really when you may have to do that before. And that's really about trusting your instincts, Taurus, in this, and a gut feeling, and almost like a full energy of taking a risk and stepping off a cliff edge, taking a leap of faith. I'm just going to ask Spirit for further clarification on this Nine of Arrows. We've got resources, which is the Magician card, which is about manifestations. So something that you have been manifesting maybe for some time. Like what's your goal, I suppose, in all this, Taurus, at the end of it as well? What's your final, what's your end goal in this situation? Spirit is telling me that you have the resources here, you have tools in front of you to make it happen. Draw on resources that you have, as well as in spiritual support. If you meditate, if you pray, or if you use the tarot yourself, for example, draw on as well other support networks, so friends, family who maybe are also a part of this but not involved in this, or who kind of have your back really, so lean on them along the way. But this feels about shooting your shot. Like I say, I mentioned it, this Nine of Arrows card, about I feel like whatever it is that your end goal, this feels in relation to that, and there will become a time when it's like striking out and being proactive. Taurus is very proactive, so I feel like that you will do it, like you have got the courage, and obviously you're so hardworking that you will be proactive and take that moment. But just to be aware that maybe if you are waiting for the full picture in order to do that, and waiting for everything to be perfect, maybe waiting for everything to happen in exactly the right order, that might not happen. But Spirit is kind of encouraging you to go for it anyway. And it's about trusting your gut, going in, trusting. A Hermit is about looking in, so rely on that. You have the skills, you have that spiritual growth, you've got the you've done the work to be able to kind of go inside. This person is blindfolded, so it's about literally just having to go inside in order to know what you need to do and take that shot to get what you want, and to get that, take a big step, or to shoot that shot to get what you want, basically, essentially. I hope this reading resonated for you, Taurus. If it did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments in the section down below. It's always great to get feedback, and subscribe for all future readings. But wishing you all the best with this situation. Love and light.